Welcome, everyone. Episode 9. I wish I knew earlier. And today we are with Heath, El Jefe, Hildenberg. What's up? What's up, Heath? How are we doing today?
I'm doing great, Roy. Thanks for having me.
Awesome, man. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name's Heath Hilgenberg. I'm a real estate operating principal for 5 Keller Williams Realty offices. I've been at it 28 years. I have over 700 agents in my firms, and this is what I do. I love developing out people.
Yes. 700. Wow, that's incredible. Can't wait to know more about that. But let's get right to it, right? If you can go back and talk to your younger self, what's one thing you wish you knew earlier about success and life?
So, if I could go back and talk to my younger self, I think what I would advise myself to be better at is around diversifying my investment. I didn't think about wealth building early enough.
Mm,
And what I've learned is I invested in almost 100% real estate at a pretty young age, which was great. What I didn't do was invest in vehicles that were going to give me more compound interest, whether it be the stock market or even more things conservative, like a retirement, an IRA, a SEP, 401k. That if I would have done that in my 20s, 30 years later, my life would look a lot different than it does today.
because of all the compound interest, right? It would have built it. It's lower risk, higher reward towards the end. Is that correct?
That's correct. And when you start young, when you start in your early 20s, let's
Hmm.
say, you don't have to contribute a lot to it to have it pay off at a high level. I think when we think about, well, I'm just going to put $20 into this or $50 into this, it doesn't seem like it's enough to make a difference. But when you take that over a 30-year period compounded, it is significant in how much it gains.
And the number you brought up is 20 or $50, right? Other people, and I'm other, we assume it's a lot more than what it is, right? It's that simple. It's $20, either Starbucks cups of coffee, boom, invested every month into your future.
Yeah, and I think the way that technology is set up today, it's so easy to do it because
Yeah.
almost everybody, whatever job they're working, gets a paycheck or gets a direct deposit around that, and you can set it up where just automatically a really small amount, let's say $20 or $50, gets automatically deposited into a 401k, an IRA, a SEP account, depending on what you're doing, and you don't even miss it. It's just automatic.
Yeah.
And when you take a look at that even 5 years later and see how that accumulates, it's significant.
Because the difference between that and a bank savings account is you laugh about it. Would you be able to elaborate more there? Like what's the difference in that part?
Well, a bank savings account, first of all, the bank is making money on your deposits already, and they're making money on your money that you're setting aside. A savings account, the interest rate on a savings account is so insignificant that whatever bank fees you're probably paying aren't make you're not making any money on the interest rate. So you need to find a more assertive vehicle where you can just put your money into it and not even worry about it. I think a savings account, we get attached to seeing our money
Correct.
and being able to touch it. And that is so not important compared to the upside of compounding interest. I think if you look at the stock market, and that's a riskier move, but it is on a long-term play, you're still looking on average around a 9% return on that.
Yeah.
In a savings account, you're looking at somewhere, it's like a 0.5%, I think is what it comes down to. So even if you use an IRA or a SEP or a 401k, that's all being reinvested into the markets.
Yeah.
So you're it's not like you're investing it directly. It's a little more well protected, but you're still getting, a 6 or 7 or 8 time return on what you would have gotten in a
Regular.
savings account.
Correct. Well, that's when you're allowing your money to work for you
Correct.
a little bit more. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Second question: as a business owner and a great leader, What's the biggest lesson you learned about building people and building a successful organization?
Well, I've always said I stand on the shoulders of giants,
Mm,
and any successful organization is not an organization of one. It's an organization of many. And so who you surround yourself with is the most important thing. What I've learned in that though is we always want to be building people up to be the best they can possibly be. And when that happens, they can move on,
yeah.
right? They can move on to other opportunities. They can move on to other industries for that matter. And so there are leaders out there that just want to retain their people and never give them opportunity. And those organizations are never going to be the best they possibly can be. So, what I've learned is don't get attached to the outcome. Always believe in the best of people and always dedicate 100% of your time in developing them out, knowing that life's going to happen, knowing that people are going to relocate, knowing that people are going to find other opportunities, knowing that life happens. You can't get bitter about that because that's going to stifle your opportunity to make your organization the best it possibly can be.
And the reason I know that worked because I'm here,
Mhm.
right? And I will never forget it. And I tell everyone this: first day I met you, first day I met you. I'm no one, by the way. I'm nobody. You call my name. Hey, Roy, how you doing? I was like, how do you know my name, right? Like for me, that was such a big moment that you saw me,
Mhm.
right? And then I'm like, he just someone probably just told him my name right now. Next time I see you again, what's up, Roy? How's it going? How's everything going? And I'm like, all right. So for me, it felt like so natural and genuine that the loyalty right there happened. I was like loyal, like
Oh,
right there, because for me, that you saw me more than a person, more than just a check.
yeah.
You saw me, and for me, growing up in the East Valley, we're not used to that.
Yeah.
Being honest, we're not used to that. So for you to do that, and you're coming from the other side, that to me, that gave me hope. I was like, okay. So when you talk about you invested, and I'm glad, right? That advice that you're giving, I'm glad that didn't ruin that prior to meeting me. Because if you would have had that, right, you're like, I don't want to invest in this guy. Sooner or later is gonna leave or whatever. Now I am where I'm at. So I want to tell you, I appreciate you so much. And it was just that one little thing for knowing my name, man.
Oh,
I'm,
that touches my heart. And people will ask me why do you do this?
you
And
know,
we call it our big why. And there's different big whys we have in life and in business. But why I do this is helping people like you
you know,
get to where you want to go. At the end of the day, I'm in the people development business. So if I can help you from when you started as that bright eyed, brand new green agent
yeah,
to what you've accomplished to this point to where you're going,
yeah,
that's exactly why I do this. Because
yeah.
you're a shining example
Oh,
of
wow.
of what potential there is.
Yeah, what that's where, and it, breaking through those challenges. Everyone's gonna have challenges, and there's gonna be a wall, but who's gonna be there to help you climb that
Yeah,
wall and go over that?
yeah,
That's what you were there, right?
yeah.
And then I appreciate you so much because of that. So that's why I call him El Jefe. So every time, man, it's great how our relationship from a high and by first name basis to now how we hug it out, how we talk about big time. So I appreciate that. It's bigger than just real estate. So I just want to make sure I let people know that. Okay. Third, what advice would you give your a young person who wants to become a leader, entrepreneur, or a business owner one day?
Yeah. So, entrepreneurship is there's so many opportunities today to do this,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be side hustles or
Yeah.
anything else that you can dip into. What I see and what the through line is for the most successful entrepreneurs and business owners out there is resilience. You don't have to be the smartest person on the planet. You don't have to be the best looking person on the planet. I'm a great example of both of those things. What you need to be is resilient. And my mantra ever since I started in this space is I will outlast them all and then I will win. And I think that's that mentality you need, where I've seen so many just talented people that were struggling, and they were one step away from breakthrough, and then they quit.
Yeah.
And if they would only had that resilience, where even on your worst day, just do a moment of what you need to do to move the ball forward.
Yeah.
And that resilience wins out. So never quit, never give up, never settle, keep moving forward.
Yeah. You know, one of the best uh quotes you ever told me is like, Roy, I know the buyer's market, I know the seller's market, I don't know the waiter's market.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that allowed me to go, oh, why should I be waiting? So it's just learning each and every day is something that has, and seeing you work, seeing everyone around me work, is like, why shouldn't I? Right? I need to work. Go do something. Go do something productive. I remember standing outside of Home Depot, just
Yeah.
handing out my cards, right? And that was something. It's just the hunger is like, who else is willing to do that? And I got one compliment. It's like, hey man, I don't see no one else is doing it. You're doing a good job.
Well, and that's it's being exceptional, right? How
Uh-huh.
do you be exceptional? How do you be undeniable? I think there's so much potential out there that people just need to be okay with failing,
Yes.
and then failing forward,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So learning, we're going to fail along the way. In fact, you should fail faster,
Yeah.
because as we learn, we continue to improve. And that would be the other piece of this that I'd add is, the idea of CANI, which is constant and never ending improvement. With successes, especially successful entrepreneurs that I see out there, they're always learning. They're always getting better. They're always finding ways. When you look at high achievers, and we use the Kobe Bryants of the world and the Michael Jordans of the world as great examples of this, every day they looked at, how can I get 1% better?
Exactly.
And these are they're the top of the food chain, and they're looking at how they can improve. I think that's what great success stories and high achievers show us.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. A legacy question. If you and I were to pass away tomorrow, what would you want the younger generation to know and remember?
Boy, legacy. It's interesting. My daughter just graduated from high school, and she's starting college in the fall, and so I think a lot about legacy now. And I just did a video a couple weeks ago about, if your obituary came out today, what would it say, and would you be okay with that?
Gotcha.
So when I think about legacy, what I would want it to say, what I would want to be known for, was that I helped people get to where they want to get.
Yeah.
And I treated them right in doing that.
Yeah.
And I did my best to do the right thing. And if I didn't, I learned from it and was better for it.
Yeah. Well, you definitely living a legacy, right, for me, and I will forever. I always tell people about you. So when they ask me why am I here, I was like, the broker. Has the broker ever sat down with you and chopped it up, right? Laugh around and talk about football,
Yeah.
which right now, by the way, he's a Packer fan. We always talk smack to each other. He's great at fantasy football. The Packers are not, right? So, but it's also like how to human to human, like how relatable we are,
Yeah.
even though we're in a different stage in our lives.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome to see. And fun and bonus question right now.
Yeah.
What's your favorite food? And if you could have one dinner with any person in history, who would it be and why?
So my favorite food, it's a little boring, but man, I love a good steak.
That's not boring.
I love a good steak. I love a good steak. Not all dressed up or anything, just a great steak.
You're not like Alan and says the Texas Roadhouse is
No.
the best steak.
No.
Okay.
No, but I love a good steak. It's a simple thing. I love to make it. I love to eat out and at great steakhouse, all those things. The question on the person, I'm going to zag a little bit on this, because the person that what was the question? Who I'd like to have dinner with? Is that what it was?
Yes, if you could have dinner with any person in history, who would it be and why?
So it would be my maternal grandfather.
Oh,
who, as I think about him, was probably one of the most fascinating men that I knew, and he died when I was 8 years old.
Oh,
So I never really got to know him, from a standpoint of us having an adult conversation.
correct.
But he was a leader in the community. He was a leader within the city, the small town I grew up in. He was a pilot. He built his own planes.
Oh,
He was an architect. He was an extraordinary artist. He was just one of those Renaissance guys. He was a World War II veteran that I think I could have really learned a lot from, um, particularly around life.
yeah,
So that's one of those people that's always kind of been in the back of my mind of I wonder what that would have been
yeah.
like if he would have been on this earth a little bit longer.
And that's why I'm taking this opportunity to learn more about you.
Yeah,
Because again, right, we don't know. We don't know when we're in borrowed time.
yeah,
So we don't know. So
no doubt about it.
and then that's why you seeing your daughter graduate and now going into her next chapter of her life, like that's incredible, that's exciting. Mine are 6 and 9, so
Yeah.
I'm I'm halfway there, but that's something that I definitely want to make sure is like,
Well, here's the other thing. Back, kind of looping back to one of our original questions that you had asked me. Um, that time goes like that,
mm,
and so when I think about my daughter going into school now and having a tuition to cover for her, um, there are vehicles to start saving for that, right?
mm,
There's like 529C accounts that if you start saving for your kids right now, that time goes by so fast because I was like, oh, I'll have forever to save for
yeah,
this. This is going to be an issue, and all of a sudden, I'm paying that first bill next month. So you can never start soon enough, and it's way less painful if you start early on.
I'm glad you brought that up, man. And that to me is a big break putting on that foundation. We did that. We
I
opened those
love it.
accounts
That is
now,
awesome, dude.
so it's just it's a huge relief. But for me, those are like, oh my god, like can't believe we just did that. We're changing my kids and our future now,
Yes,
right? Just by starting now,
absolutely.
and again, man, surrounded by all of these wisdoms, and I'm just grabbing, and I'm like sharing. It's like everyone out there should be knowing about this. That it's not hard. It is simple. It's not easy,
Right.
but that you just got to start
Well, it's
now.
creating habits, right?
Yeah,
So whether it be okay, here's our goal. Every year we're gonna put X amount into each of
yeah,
these education accounts. So I break that down monthly, so I know every month I have to put that amount
yeah.
in, and that those become non-negotiables then,
That's right.
because it's real easy, especially in our world, to go, oh well, I'll just sell another house next month,
Yeah,
and then I'll fund it then. That's non-negotiable because all of a sudden that next month becomes next year, becomes 10 years, becomes, oh my gosh, they're 18,
yeah.
and what are we going to do?
Oh man, right now I'm in the chapter of learning everything right now, so I'm super excited and everything. Well, I definitely appreciate the time that you're giving us and sharing all that wisdom. Believe you me, I'm gonna be seeing this video over and over and showing it to my kids, showing it to the football players, right? Because this is something that I wish they would have taught us earlier in high school,
Yeah.
right? A little bit more intentional about that. That could have helped us out, regardless of where the path would have taken us. But we would have known this, it would have helped us, 10, 15 years from now, that hey, we're good. We're
Yeah.
good.
Well, I want to acknowledge you, Roy, for
Oh,
what you're doing and in giving back to the
yeah,
community and really giving back to the next generation and future generations and really coming from the standpoint of what this is, which
yeah,
is what if I would have known then what I know now, this is how life would look different for me,
yeah,
and impressing that upon the next generation. You have a servant's heart, you have a
yeah.
coach's heart, and most importantly, you want to bring out the very best in people, and you're modeling that every day. And I couldn't be more proud of you.
Well, I appreciate you. All right. Thank you so much. To the next episode. Deuces.